Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a full test drive on this 2016 Cadillac CT6 Platinum. This was once the Cadillac's flagship model. I've actually done a full review on this before. So if you want, please go check this out. This is all just focused on how the vehicle drives, how it handles, and how is the performance. And then just get it started up and summed up for you. This has the 3-liter twin turbo V6, which makes 404 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, and is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. We do have active rear steering, which I will go further. And as you can see, we do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated vented seats, as well as massaging seats for back and the front row. And then this steering feels really light, it's really smooth, and then you can actually hear the twin turbo exhaust, and it sounds amazing. And I will have the video summed up in the comment section below if you guys want just focus on one section, either maybe the performance, the handling, or the overall comfort type. So we're going to first start with the comfort. This isn't a Cadillac. It was made to compete more of against the E-Class, and it did basically. So basically this just slotted out between the E and the S class, and then they're supposed to have been in a CT8, which would have been came after this, and then it would have surpassed the S class. But Cadillac never made that. They only made the CT6, and then this CT6, the comfort is not as good as a 7 Series or as an S class, but it still is really balanced out compared to this type of vehicles. And then this has the Magna Ride suspension. Okay, so now we are on the highway, and then there's a little bit of traffic, but I will try cruise at around 75 or 80 and then see how it stacks up in terms of comfort level. So as I was talking about before, we do get massaging seats, and they are really easy to control, and they are amazing. We do have different functions: roll, net, stretch, and lumbar, just if you want to just massage the lumbar section. And then we also have a neck massage too. So right now we're cruising at 65. I can still feel small bumps, but it's really redefined. It's not really harsh, it's not really soft. And the other thing I would point out is that this vehicle, it does has 86,000 miles, and it does need a new struts replaced. It may kind of just hinder our a comfort performance, if you really want to say it that way. So at 70 miles an hour, this road is actually really bumpy, but in this vehicle I don't really feel that much. I can hear it, but I really can't feel it. And then in terms of the road noise, I would say it's not as great as in a luxury vehicle. I would say it is as much as an E-Class, or probably lower than the E-Class, but the ride quality is actually better than the E-Class. And then since this is the Magna Ride suspension, it can be adjusted into harsh, soft. When we change our modes, what we are doing, it can also change that for you. And then it also changes how the steering feels. And right now we are in touring mode, which is the most comfort type. I'm gonna slow it down and floor it a little so you can hear that twin turbo growl. So it feels really amazing. The power delivery is amazing. However, it is probably like done like more of like a calibration to like stop the turbo lag. What it does is that like when you like floor the engine for like around a second, the ECU basically just like stops you from like flooring it. It just like builds up a pressure, then it just like lets go, and then you have zero turbo lag because it like already had like spooled up the turbos. However, in like certain situations, you will have like wait for like around a second. So like right now I'm like cruising at 70. I'm gonna slow down a little bit, and then I'm gonna floor it, and then you can see how long it takes. So 1, 2, 3, go. See? So it like took, I would say, around a second or a half, then it just went up. And then like when it like it does rev up, then it feels amazing. You have like instant torque, instant power. But like before that time, you do have like wait a little bit for like the turbos to be spooled up. In this vehicle, they did had 3 engine options. They had the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, then they had the 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6, and then they had the 3-liter twin turbo. And then in 2019, they decided to like also like bring in the 4.2-liter, like the actual real Blackwing V8 engine. It's just like a shame that they just like ended the production of the vehicle in like favor of EVs. And then also we do have this rear view mirror camera system, and then this was like the first vehicle to ever have it. You can also like switch it between a regular mirror and a rear view camera mirror. And then also the other good thing is that like since we do have the rear steering package, once we like change lanes, it feels really smooth. Like it would just like glide through instead of like the traditional moving from the front type. I will change lanes right now. There you go. It just feels really smooth. We do have lane keep assist. We do have cruise control. Adaptive cruise control. So all I have to do is turn on the adaptive cruise control, set my speed limit. So for example, now I'm gonna set it to 80. So I have it set to 80, but it's only going at 71 because like the truck in front of me is going at 71. So it will just like keep that distance for you automatically. I don't really have to do anything. We do have lane keep assist. It's not the best. Like the only issue I have with like lane keep assist is that it is not lane centering. It's just like lane keep assist. I will like test it out for you guys on the other road. So like what it like does is that it will just like steer in for me once like the tires like hit the outer barrier of the line. So I mean, it's still like good in like certain situations, but it's not really the best, because if you want to really like use it hands free, you have to just like do this. So for that, they did introduce the Super Cruise and the CT6 in 2018, and then it was like the first hands-free driving vehicle. So the engine sounds amazing. And now to just show you the features, I'm going to turn on adaptive cruise control, and I'm going to set it to 80 miles an hour. And then I'll also like show you the lane keep assist feature as well, how it works. Okay, so I'm like in a straight line going, and then please don't like try this because it's not really safe if you're just gonna just like drive this hands free. We're now gonna press on the lane keep assist, then I do get the green icon, which means I am centered in the line. And then there's a truck on this side. Oh, there's a tire in front of me. Cool. Okay. Roads in Texas. Okay. I just want to just like clear that front turn, and then I will test it out later. Otherwise, the rider quality is really smooth, especially in turns because of the rear steering. Okay, so we just cleared the turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly let go of the steering wheel, but try to like force it this way. I'm going to do it again. See? So as you can see, I'm trying to push it this way, but the motor inside is turning the steering wheel this way. So it's actually good, but it's not really hands-free, because if I do hands-free, the vehicle won't stay in the middle of the lane. Instead, it will just like swirl around. And now moving on with the handling, and then I will move on with like the performance. So like starting with the handling. So since I said before, it does has rear steering. So especially on turns, on these roads, and on turns, it feels really smooth. And it like just like turns in really easily, and like other vehicles where you like might not feel that great doing that. And then the other good thing is I'm gonna bring it down into sport mode, which does increase our handling capability. So now we're gonna put it into sport mode. There's like a big turn coming in front of me, and I'm just cruising at 80 miles an hour. And then in like sport mode, it like does make the steering wheel more stiff. It like stiffens out the suspension. As you can see, it just like turns in really good. And then in like touring mode, it just like may seem a little bit harsher on the turns, but in like sport mode, it just like feels really redefined, just like a sports car. So like basically, it just like, so it's like a big as a 7 series, and it like drives like a 5 series, especially because of the tuning of the steering wheel and all of that other rear wheel steering features that this vehicle has. Yes, so like sport mode, we do get a little bit more vibration because the suspension is more stiff, but at the same time we do get more performance, and especially at turns it feels amazing. So moving on with the performance, I already like went through the drivetrain and stuff, and I did floor it a few times. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably just like slow down over here, put it into manual mode, and see how that is. So I'm gonna turn off the adaptive cruise control, let it slowly slow down. I don't want to hold up traffic here. And then the other good thing is that we do have full metal pedal shifters on the side, and the quality of those are amazing. Let's put it into manual mode, and this does, the 8 speed is a little bit jerky, I'm gonna be honest. It's not as good. So I'm gonna drop it into 6th gear, 5th gear. Oh wow, it feels amazing. And then the other thing is that like this like 3-liter is just like kind of quiet compared to the naturally aspirated V6 that was out there. So even going at 90 miles an hour, it handles really good. If it just like stays centered in the lane, it takes really good on corners. Overall, it feels amazing when you're like driving the vehicle. Let's put it back into drive. Performance wise, I would say this is basically just like a sleeper type of vehicle, because it like really doesn't seem like a sporty vehicle from the outside, and this vehicle is actually huge, but like once you actually start flooring it, it gives out a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower. It can easily like defeat Chargers and Challengers with like the basic 5.7 liter V8. And the other thing is this is all-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive really improves the overall traction of this vehicle. And then like once we're going into touring mode, like the torque is split 40-60, 40% torque to the front and then 60% torque to the rear. But in like a sport mode, it gets changed. We get 80% torque to the back, and then 20% torque to the front, which is amazing. And then we do have an Sunwise mode, in that it just like evens it out at 50-50. There was also the CT6V, which is just like the jewel of all of the CT6Vs. Only like 1,000 were ever made. It did have the Blackwing V8, but that was also all-wheel drive, but it did have the ability to like send 95% of the torque to the back, and then just like 5% of the torque to the front. overall, in like conclusion, this vehicle is amazing. It does has all of the features. We do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, heated vented massaging seats. We do have head-up display, this like amazing driver display over here, heated steering wheel. We do have all those safety features. We also have a wireless charging pad on the over here under the console, and then it's also like a really roomy vehicle. Even in the back, we do have a ton of room. We do have heated vented massaging seats in the back as well. Their own infotainment system. We do have panoramic sunroof for the front and for the back as well. And then we do also get front Brembo brakes. The only downside of this vehicle, I would say, is the transmission. The 8-speed transmission just like feels like a limiting, especially to like this kind of powertrain. I wish it did have the 10-speed, which we do get in the 2019 to 2020 models. Overall, if you are interested in buying this vehicle, I would say it's actually really good. Do check it out. And then if you're just like worried about the mechanical issues, how it's like holding up, I do have like a separate video coming out for this, especially on this vehicle, because it is now close to 90,000 miles. So I would do like to say one thing, it like still has the original engine, the original transmission, so it's like holding up really well. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. I do come out with the weekly content on cars every day, so please do check that out. Thank you. Have a good day.